As manager of Chelsea Football Club, I've called this press conference to announce that we want you, the fans at home and abroad, to support someone else.
Yo, I love it.
Wow.
I love this game.
Wow.
That was amazing. Oh my god.
Did Frank actually say that in a particular clip before or something?
Yeah, he did.
He said it. He said it during COVID.
The whole charity thing.
Yep.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
Go and support someone else.
Go and
They
support
support the NHS workers. It was the whole thing was like that. It
Oh
was done
my
for their support.
God.
So now, at the start of every single video on my channel, I'm gonna try and play that clip until the end of the season. It fits. It makes sense. It just works. That's not my fault. He gave me the material and we ran with it. Oh, guys, welcome back to All You Can Eat Chelsea.
Well, you cannot eat.
You cannot.
Yeah,
exactly.
you cannot. You cannot.
There's no eating here.
Don't eat anything. Do you know what I mean? You're gonna starve. You're gonna starve like you've never starved before. To be fair, we did get a goal, Younes, but how are you, bro?
That's it. Goal of the month. Give it to him. It's done. It's done. We're not scoring for the rest of the season. We'll have to wait for next season to get another goal.
Oh, yeah.
No, look, I'm not happy, man. I mean, it was expected and whatnot, but like I thought, just like look, we're saying the same things every single show now, right? We finished this game. I was like, let me see what happens after I sleep it off. Nothing's changed. I feel the same. It's just this. It's tragic. It's actually tragic. It's just tragic now.
Miz, brother, the other side of the coin. We haven't seen the other side of the coin all season. Just being L's constantly, losing these head or tail coin tosses. How are you, brother?
Yeah, look, personally, I'm all right, but of course, it's sad. It's sad times, man. It's just, waking up in crazy hours to watch the games, and not just by myself. Like I can see so many people in the live chat when we do the watch-alongs, tuning in from all over the world, consistently seeing L's after L's after L's. Just, yeah, it's depressing, man. It's depressing. I hope people have, as Frank said, I hope you have something else to support as well, because you need it. You truly do.
100%. Baba, brother. Drogba says he doesn't recognize our club. How are you? Do you recognize our club? Do you know what? When they were calling you Bruno, we said, nah, we don't. We're not sure we want to Brighton to manage our club. You've amassed more points than Lampard, and he's been in for 6 games.
Yeah. I mean, it has taken us 3 managers to get from 38 to 39 points, if I'm not wrong.
Oh, wow.
So we need to sack him and then get another one to get to 40, is what you're telling me.
Yeah. I feel like I'm dead, bro. I'm dead inside, to be honest. I don't want to talk about football. I don't want to watch football.
You're in the wrong place, brother.
Yeah, that's the sad part. When I started doing this YouTube thing, I thought that I've started doing something which gives me a lot of joy. So, talking about football, discussing Chelsea, talking about the beautiful game, and see how life comes back at you. I mean, this is unbelievable. I mean, even like what Miz was saying earlier in the group chat, that personal lives are being affected right now. I can feel it, bro. I have started to feel angry. I get angry nowadays at every small thing. If the food is not prepared on time, I get angry. If I'm playing with my friends, if they bantering me, if they're joking around, not playing seriously, I get angry. Because of Chelsea, because you know that your team is not doing well, and not doing well is an understatement. I mean, what is this? What is this? I don't have any words. I might as well be silent the whole stream. I don't know what to say, man.
This club has made me burn through about 3 Netflix series in the last 2 weeks.
I've started watching Harry Potter. Yesterday,
you
Do
missed
you want to
Graham.
get reminiscent?
yeah,
missed
yeah.
Graham.
Yesterday, I've gone through the Order of the Phoenix. So Half-Blood Prince, I have to start today because that is the only thing. The nostalgia, the old vibes. Like when I was watching Prisoner of Azkaban, I was like, oh, 2004, the first time we won the league under Mourinho. So all of these things hit me. Like everything reminds me of her. When you go after a breakup, everything reminds me of her. You have that emotion. So everything I watch, I'm reminded of old times when Chelsea used to be a really good team. But now we are not even a butt of jokes anymore. That's the sad part. Like people have stopped joking about us.
No, it's not funny. It's not funny at all.
We are irrelevant. We have become irrelevant.
This is not funny. I don't even know where to start because every single game we play, I keep thinking to myself, they can't rope me back in. Because as a fan now, I've already reached that turning point where I understand how bad we are, and I'm just asking for a step over, maybe a goal at best. But we did score, but it came at the wrong time. Then we needed to score first, so I could have some sort of ecstasy, some sort of excitement, and then we concede the 3 goals. We did it the wrong way around. We score a consolation that means nothing in the second half. We need to talk about Lampard. we need to talk about some of these players because I'm not gonna lie now, that some of them performances were absolutely shambolic. Like I need to find new words, to be honest. These guys, some of the performances that I'm seeing are just insane, absolutely incredible, groundbreaking. So we need to talk about that. And it's a shame because I think everybody said it. Arsenal didn't even, again, they weren't even at their best. Like all they had to do was be very basic with it. The amount of time they had for their first goal, you would have thought that we were their friends. We would have thought that this was a kickabout at the local park. This is not a London derby. It's like when you let your little brother on the pad and you just let him just pass it around you and get a couple goals up because you just, you want to be nice. Younes, I'll start with you, bro. Sterling, I mean, cover. Where's Badiashile? Where's Mudryk? Mudryk comes on, does more in 19 minutes than Sterling did for the whole game. He's talking about players that are committed, people that want to fight. Mudryk is fighting. Mudryk will get a pair of gloves on, UFC style if needed, I'm sure. He's going to the gym all the time. Where is Badiashile? The best defender we've signed in the summer, in the January just gone. Can't get on the pitch. Even Trevor's coming on before him.
Look, this is we've come to the consensus for quite a while now that, with all due respect, Lampard has no idea what he's doing and has not got a clue, right? And not to say that any of us would be able to go in and do it, but it's crazy when everyone can see it and he can't. When it comes to the way that we set up the formation, we've got to differentiate the two at this point. People, I think, like to mix the two, and it's not the case. There's a formation and there's a system, right? They're separate. When you put out a 4-3-3 in the way that he did, it looked like it was more attacking. It looked like it was a little bit more. There was a little bit more risk taking. It's like, okay, fair enough. But even then, and I spoke with Miz pre-match, didn't I? And I was like, the one thing that's getting me is that Sterling's there. Why? And boy, I wasn't expecting him to be that bad. Holy shit. Like, that was tragic. Like, everyone's down, right? I get it. And I can't, as much as I think there are players that don't belong here, right? And I think there's the standards right now are in the toilet, right? As far as I'm concerned. But I get the circumstances that the players are having to deal with. As much as everyone is bad, boy, Sterling was on another level of bad, man. He was playing against us. You might as well have worn an Arsenal shirt. Might as well, when you look at, I pointed this out, when you look at Akante, for example, and you see what he's doing, and he gives the ball away to Arsenal, but you can you can see it's a matter of system. That's not Kante being bad. It's a matter of placement and players that are not in certain areas. And it's just sometimes a player with the speed and the tempo of the game can expect a player to be in a certain space, thinks, okay, I've got to pass it there, and we got moving. There's no one there. Gets intercepted. It happens. And you could see that was what was going on with Kante quite a lot. But Sterling, like, your head's up. You're seeing the Arsenal player right there. All right, here you go, mate. Here's the ball. What are you doing? What are you doing, bruv? He's there. You can see him. Are you blind? The whole thing was a mess from Sterling. So while he was playing, Mudryk, I mean, he came on and yeah, at least done something. At least done something. The whole thing with Badiashile, the fact it was a back four, Thiago Silva starting, and look, if we're honest, Thiago Silva wasn't tragic. You know, then again, everyone was down. In a back three, absolutely, Badiashile used to be starting. And at this point, because of what has happened, I don't get why Badiashile is not being given the time of day. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. One of the crazy things towards the end of the game, whilst you're chasing the game, you're 3-1 down. You take off Fofana to bring on Chalobah. Despite Fofana having a shocker, I'm going to be honest, he was poor. But why waste the sub? You're 3-1 down, mate. It just shows you he's...
I don't understand anything that he's doing. Gallagher coming on.
Gallagher, yeah, you're 3-1 down, you score. Oh, what's going to influence it? What's going to get the second goal? Yeah, bring Gallagher on. Why? Because he scored a deflection the other week against Brighton.
What is Azpilicueta doing out there? In 2023, what is Azpilicueta doing out there? What is he bringing to this team? I can't think of a single attribute. It's only intangibles, and the intangibles at this point are not outweighing. They're not anywhere near outweighing the attributes. What is Azpilicueta in 2023 doing on that football pitch?
Yeah.
What is he doing?
The thing with Aspi, this goes to some of the preparation that we've had. Despite the large, it's actually a testament, right? Despite the large squad that we have, the amount of players we have, we don't have another right back.
I play Fofana out there. I honestly play Fofana at right back.
Even
and put Badiashile in the middle.
I think if it's Aspi or it's Fofana or it's Chalobah at right back, I think they're getting skinned. They're getting skinned. Because we tried Chalobah at right back once. There was one game where Fofana shifted over to the right back role when we were in the back three. We were attacking and became a 4. And Fofana did shift over to right back and he wasn't good. Anyone you're playing there is a mess, but it goes to show with a massive squad, Reece James gets injured. There's no one else. It's crazy. There's not even someone from the academy you can bring up. Like, it's insane. It's insane. And it just tells you the organization at the club is in the gutter. It's in the gutter.
There's no accountability, Miz. You let me know of that with his post match. I mean, I don't listen to his post match. I can say what he's gonna say in his post match in my review before he's even said it. He's going to talk about fight. He's going to talk about commitment. He might say that the players have the fight and want to win. He might say that they're not committed enough and they don't want to win. He's not going to talk anything tactically. He's not going to take any responsibility, not going to take any accountability, not going to reflect on his own managerial performance. And he's nearly going to go 007. I am this close to dressing up in a tuxedo, going to Bond Street and getting great B-roll. Because this guy is potentially, more than likely, let's be real, going to go 007 because Bournemouth have won 4 out of the last 5. We play them on Saturday. This guy is really going to go 007 in charge of this football club. How do you do that? And at no point am I hearing in any post-match saying, do you know what? This is on me. I've made a mistake here, here, and here. I didn't set this up here, here, and here. He's just saying that we're too easy to play against. What do you mean we're too easy to play through? Is that not on you? Did you not set this up? Why am I seeing these things, bro?
Bro, he must be deluded at this point. He really must be. He talks as if, and I said this to you guys in the WhatsApp, he talks as if he has coached a winner and he's been coaching winners all throughout the past 6 games. And it's the players that keep letting him down on his genius tactical plan. But Frank needs to wake up and smell the coffee that it's not just the last 6 games. His record in the last 20 apparently has been 1 win.
Yeah, 3 wins in 28, I think.
something ridiculous. He's got like a 5%. Frank, forget about these last 6 games. Focus on your Everton time as well. What, the Everton players as well didn't give effort, don't give the basics of football. Like, brother, when are you going to actually go, do you know what? Maybe there's something wrong with me. Maybe there's something wrong with me. Because this guy on a consistent level, and I don't know if you guys have been picking up, like, you know, the constant reminder to the fans that we're too nice to play. The effort wasn't there in the first half or the second half. The desire, the basics of football. Brother, you're indirectly actually putting your players down. That's what you're telling me. You know, when you're making those comments. And now he even goes even a step further where, you know, all the comments that he had to make about Joe Felix, whether right or wrong, that's a different debate. Why are you saying all of this stuff in media? You're benching Joe, keep it to yourself. Why are you going out there and saying, I just don't think, you know, he gives me enough off the ball? Well, did Sterling give you enough off the ball? Like,
Madueke was the only winger that put in a proper performance. Like, he worked incredibly hard to get back.
Yeah, and even then, we just nitpicking. Like, there were certain instances where even Madueke was given the ball too easily. The decision.
Everyone.
I'm not having a go at Madueke. At least he scored. At least he gave an effort. But we are giving praise on a situation on a given day back in our legendary times.
It would be nothing to us,
bro.
Nothing.
Madueke's performance probably might be criticized.
You can go through you can go through every single player and you can find ridiculously poor moments at the highest level. You could go for cover, not tracking a runner for the first goal. Enzo, ball goes through his legs. You could talk about Sterling giving the ball away 10, 11 times. You could talk about Kante on a 4v2, still picking the wrong pass.
Bro, he hit it straight at the Arsenal player. Not even picking it. He hit it. I couldn't believe
but I
what
keep
I
saying
saw.
it. I keep saying it with Kante. In the final third, his passing is not there. But he can't play as a 6 because he doesn't stay in one position. So it doesn't. If you play him as a box to box, he's going to kill you in the final third. And if you play him as a sitter, he's going to leave a gap. The only thing you can kind of do is play him in a 2-man double pivot and keep him in the central areas, but have a sitter next to him and have an attacking midfielder ahead of him. So he's just a connector. He's just a connector.
How is Kante the one launching a counter-attack, bro?
He's
got great ball carrying ability, but
this is where I want to say, and I want to sort of deviate a little bit. I don't know if you guys have watched Nemanja Vidic's 5 with 5 2-part episode.
I've seen some of it, yeah. I've seen some of it.
Boys, and to the live chat, more than 1,000. I highly recommend you. Like, this guy, yeah, obviously he's a legend of Man United and top defenders. When we talk about, you know, the partnerships, obviously him and Rio Ferdinand's partnership is one of the ones that people talk about. Nemanja Vidic clearly stated, after Ferguson left and David Moyes came in, David Moyes just thought, I don't really need to manage this set of group of players. They just won, you know, the Premier League, and there's a lot of, you know, highly experienced players here, a lot of superb players. We'll just let them do what they need to do. They're smart and mature enough to do what needs to be done. And Vidic, because obviously that was a rocky season. It didn't work out for them.
Shocking,
Vidic, at one point, he said enough was enough. He rocked up to David Moyes' office, and after that incident, that's, you know, that was his playing career done at Man United. That's what he said. They didn't want to extend his contract. But he went up to David Moyes' office and he said, Gaffer, you need to give us instructions. Yeah, we're experienced players. Yeah, we might have had X amount of trophies and this, that, the other. You still need to guide us how you want us to play. We need to buy into you. You need to tell us, does the defense need to step up? Do they need to stay back? Yeah. What do we do with the build-up? What do we do in midfield? How do you want us to play in the final third? You still need to guide us. Just because we're experienced, just because we've won a lot of stuff, we don't just go out there and make out like we're driven by guidance. We're driven by guidance. I don't know, and I'm circling back to the whole Lampard, this, that, the other. When I look at our match, yesterday I didn't even have too much issues with the lineup. Maybe Mudryk, but I thought, okay, you know what, you're giving us a fighting chance to a certain degree. But we look so lost. It don't matter what lineup you put. We just look lost. We don't look in sync. We don't know what we're doing. You know, when we're talking about Kante taking us for a counter, and Kante's in the final third, Kante's in the wings, Kante's in the who's guiding any of these players? You see Thiago Silva so angry yesterday. Consistently, he was angry and waving his hand around. Enzo Fernandez telling Madueke at times, make a run. Like, give me something to work with. I need to pass. Like, make a run. But I can't blame the players anymore. Obviously, the players have been shambolic, no doubts about that. But who's guiding these players, man? Who is guiding these players?
I keep hearing people saying, oh, you know, the players don't play for the badge.
Gone past that.
I wonder who's picking the team, though. Are you trying to tell me out of 35 players, all of them will not play for the badge? If Aubameyang won't play for the badge, if Sterling won't play for the badge, then where is Mudryk? Where's Datro? What are you trying to tell me? They're not going to play for the badge as well. So now it's the entire 35-man playing squad's fault. Even the new players that have come in January. Badiashile started brilliantly. He's not going to play for the badge. Why is he not playing?
Yeah,
I don't buy this nonsense. It's too simplistic. It's too basic. And it's too foolish, if I'm being honest, because the team and the club has never been in this predicament before. So why is it now, suddenly, after sanctions, after taking buses to Middlesbrough, after not being able to tap Oyster cards, how comes that team put in play for the badge? How comes that team play for the badge? It's actually, nobody's been sold. It's the same group of players plus new additions. You're not going to tell me the new additions don't care. So what happened?
This is the thing. Look, we have to realize it's not even just not like people are going to say they're not playing for the badge. Bro, right now, they're not even playing for themselves. And it's not even a case of they're choosing to not play for themselves. They can't even play for themselves. Like, they're in such a predicament right now. We were talking about this off air on the group chat. Bro, you best believe even in their personal lives right now, they're probably at home completely affected. We're talking about all sorts of, like interpersonal relationships and whatnot, in terms of what happens between people and certain things in the house and whatnot. People are affected. Bruv. You best believe a lot of these players, like, one example was Bell Silva's tweet that came out yesterday that Miz shared on his post-match. And you can see immediately how it's affected that household, and let alone that's Thiago Silva, who's at the end of his career. He doesn't even really need to care because he's done it. That's it. He could retire tomorrow. Not a problem, right?
He wants a Premier League trophy. He's not going to get one.
This is the thing. He's not going to get one. Unfortunately, he deserves one. But when you look at the younger lot, you can best believe in their heads, they're like, where the hell is my future going? Like, okay, where's Chelsea heading? I'm on this massive long contract now, especially the guys that just signed. They're like, oh, bloody hell, I didn't know it was going to be like this. Okay, what's going to happen? Where is it heading? Are we going to do something good? Is it going to keep heading like this? Am I going to get devalued? Where's my next club going to be? Like, all of a sudden, their whole livelihood is up in the air. Oh, it's not just the confidence that shot. I guarantee they're all now even doubting themselves. And you can see when they play, there's top talented players here that have options, for example, to go forward. They're not going to take that risk. Some of them are just, I'm not going to take that risk.
But even the ones that are, like,
I'm going to go backwards.
But even the ones that are like Mudryk and Madueke, they have no one to pass to. Madueke skipped past like 5-6 players and he still had nobody.
And why? There's no system. It doesn't exist. When we set up, right, there is no setup. When we put the players on the pitch, we have a formation. Good luck. The rest is up to you, lads. There's no system. There's no system.
I didn't do the preview the way I usually would. The lineup I would have gone with would have been a back three. Loftus-Cheek probably gone back to wing back. Badiashile in the back three of Fofana. No cover because cover's been arse. So just don't even play him. No Sterling because he's been arse. So Mudryk, Madueke up top. In a front three, obviously with a forward. But at this point, it's beyond lineups, really, because we can make these little tweaks and we might get a little bit better. But again, this league is too competitive. This is all about coaching. This is all about, you know, instability behind the scenes all season. This is going back even to, you know, transfer windows and all of these things, right? It's a multiple issues all combined into one. But if you really want to know the lineup that I would love to see against Bournemouth, is that Lampard is not in that dugout, because we are not getting anything with this guy in charge. He is too basic. Nobody can tell me that, okay, we're going to have a tough season. Were we destined to be 12th? Is this completely just all the players? Just it's all outside factors, outside of coaching, outside of management? The last two managers we've had have not been fit for purpose. One of them have been incredibly passive and could not motivate anyone, it seems, to do anything, because he just didn't have any sort of winning mentality inside him in terms of demanding the very best and demanding the top standards. Of course, not everything went his way in terms of players coming in and having to recoach and all these things. But just in terms of on a human level, I could imagine he's probably a very difficult person to have to listen to on a daily basis if you're a very ambitious player striving at the top level. You've worked with top coaches. And then you bring in this guy who's actually 10 times worse, 100 times worse than him. Because this guy can't coach and he can't motivate. He has no coaching. He can't coach, because every time I hear him in pressers, he doesn't speak about tactics. He doesn't speak about system. He doesn't speak about how he wants his team to play outside of just commitment, fight, and desire. So I have no other way to go is to assume that he speaks exactly like this on the training ground. I have to assume the way he's speaking to us in the press conferences is exactly how he speaks on a day-to-day basis. I don't think he's suddenly going to switch up his lingo. He must be talking like this all the time. I mean, Baba, what do you make of this situation, bro? What do you make of this?
I think there are too many players at the club, and half of the players have been forgotten by the manager. I don't remember seeing Chukwuemeka. What happened to him? Has he got kidnapped or something? I don't know. Because I really want to see him feature in the team, because he has been good. He was really good in that one half of football that we played against Man City. The players are at an all-time low right now, and I completely agree with this. I don't get this not playing for the badge. Something is really, really wrong. The basic understanding of the game. Players are not turning up. Just like winning is a habit, losing is also a habit. Players are mentally stuck there. And if you don't rectify that, you don't get the results your way. It does a lot of damage, lot of dent to your mentality. And that is what we are seeing right now. And plus the managers, the way he's conducting the team is not helping. I mean, I did not get last night's substitutions. Enzo out for Gallagher. It really doesn't make any sense. Why is not Mudryk starting? Chukwuemeka, as I've mentioned. Badiashile, you already talked about it. So yeah, I think it's more of the same that we have been discussing. That article that Athletic wrote, Younes made a very good video about that. There are problems that have been documented. The problems have been documented beautifully over there. The size of the squad, sacking of the backroom staff, the managerial instability. And Kai Havertz openly said in an interview that if you fire a manager like Thomas Tuchel without warning, with whom we had won stuff in the past, then it becomes very difficult. So even players are not, really on board with what is happening right now at the club. And see, the thing is, players are now absolutely scared for their future. They are not convinced where the club is heading towards. You have got these players on 7-8 years of contract. You've imprisoned them at the club. Even if other clubs were to get them, they won't be able to. And the new players that we've got have come down to the players who were already at the club. Joe Felix, why he hasn't been picked in last 2-3 games? Because he hasn't been good. Enzo has been overused. I think he's played every game till now. Right now, in past 2-3 games, I've seen him get substituted. Otherwise, he was playing each and every game, and he's not being played in his preferred position. And with Lampard, we can't talk about systems, formation, tactics. We all know that. So see, I was talking to my Arsenal friend, so he was very disappointed that we bottled the title and this and that. I told him that at least you are in a position to identify and to pinpoint, okay, if we get this player, if we add one more center back, if we get one more midfielder, a proper number 9, we will be in a better position. We are not even in that position where we can pinpoint, okay, we boot out this player, we get in this player, we solve this issue, that issue, we will be fine, we will be done. We can't even point out what the mess is right now. That's where the situation is right.
Do you know what, Baba? That is such a good point. Like a lot of people are like, oh, "Give me a goalkeeper better than Kepa." And you know what? We're challenging for the title.
Get me a DM. Get me a DM. Get me a finisher.
We're challenging for the title. Get me a striker. We're challenging for the title.
No, it's not that simple.
This is the reason why I said this is such a good point from you, Baba. Is that have a look at Jorginho.
Yep.
Who played for Arsenal last night. Beautiful control. Ensuring that Arsenal were consistently suffocating us and we could not get out of our box. This is the same Jorginho that we consistently bashed and abused because we said he's too lightweight. He's easily beaten. Everyone can walk past him. Well, give a particular manager and the right system, this player makes your team better. It's as simple as that. And I'm not just saying this to show some support for Jorginho. What I'm trying to indicate here is don't get excited. Bring me that DM, bring me Declan Rice or bring me whoever else. If you don't have a system, it's game over. It don't matter who you got on. And you think Frank Lampard in this interim position, he could have had, I don't know, give me a prime DM in world football. Like who's one of the
Give this guy Declan Rice, Osimhen and Big Mike in goal.
But we're still losing. We're still losing. I'll tell you straight up, we're still losing.
I wouldn't even ever want to. Even if we had a bunch of world beaters, I still wouldn't want him in charge because he would bring the level of that team. He would cap that team's potential off with his lack of knowledge on the coaching side. When people say, "Oh, I want to have Lampard in charge forever. I want to be able to feel that this is the real Chelsea," I never want to feel this again. I don't want. If this is the real Chelsea, I don't want to feel it. Yeah. If this was Chelsea, it's not even Chelsea pre-Roman. Maybe this is Chelsea in the late 80s. It's the worst Chelsea since the mid 90s. I'm not trying to feel this shit again. I'm really not. I'm not trying to feel this. At the end of the day, this guy, he caps off the level you can go to in terms of what he is as a manager because he fundamentally is not good enough. So it doesn't matter how many players you give him or what you do. He is going to cap you off at a certain level because the little details in management, the little tweaks, the little tinkers, the instructions, he's clearly not able to give. And people are saying, oh, well, listen, you can't compare our situation maybe to Aston Villa because they don't have 35 players or Bayer Leverkusen because they don't have 35 players or Michael Carrick at Middlesbrough because they did it. But let me tell you something. One thing these last two managers have failed to do is forcefully trim down this team and decide on who they're using. When Lampard came in here and said everybody's going to get a fresh slate,
it's game over.
I said we're finished. I said from that moment, I'm done. This guy, from the moment he said, and he walked in here into a 35-man squad, and he said everybody gets a fresh slate, a clean slate. I said this guy has no idea. From this moment, he doesn't know what he's doing. No manager walks into this situation. Do you think Luis Enrique walks into this situation and says everybody gets a fresh slate? No. He goes through all of the players. He has done his homework prior to even arriving on all of the players. He knows all of the players inside out in terms of what they can do, what they can't. And then he looks at his system and the way he plays and he says, you can do this, you can't do this, you can do this, you can't do this. You're in, you're out, you're in, you're out. When Pep arrived at Man City, did he say to Joe Hart, I'm going to give you a fresh slate? No, he said, get the hell out of my office. Leave. Get out of my office. He said, get out of my office. Joe Hart's looking at him like, what? What? In this country, we give everybody a fresh slate, a new chance. Pep said,
yeah, here's some fresh clubs. Get out of here.
Here's some fresh clubs. Here's Celtic. Man spoke in Spanish. Get out of my office. So if you know what you want to implement, Not everybody can do it. Not everybody can do it. When I put this show, sorry, this is our final point. This will make you laugh. When I put this show together, I didn't say, I think I'm gonna give Johnny Minerals a fresh chance, fresh slate. No. I thought, yes, that works. That chemistry works. That's the way I want to play. That's the way I want to talk, debate, opinions, discuss. I knew what I wanted. I didn't think, oh yeah, anything can work. You know, we just have to. Let's just see who runs the fastest. Let's just see, like, you know, no, that's not how it works. It's mad.
And this is cemented. It baffled me with the whole reason, not as to why Joe Felix didn't play yesterday, but the reason that Lampard gave as to why Joe Felix didn't play yesterday. Right? Some people are going to say, no, he should have played. Some people are going to say, no, he shouldn't. Fair enough, right? But the reason that Lampard gave as to why he didn't play, I read that and I wanted to punch a wall or something, man, because it's exactly as you just said, Matisse. It's exactly like a top manager or normal manager would be able to go, now look, this is how I want to do things. Who is going to work in the way that I need to do, like with the system and the plan that I have? Who's going to execute it for me? Lampard yesterday, as a reason as to why he didn't play Felix, said before the game, Fabrizio tweeted this, he has a huge talent. I really need to find a clear structure. He's not definite if you ask him where he wants to play. Maybe he's not a 9. I need a 9 for the way I want to play. Whatever his future is, I don't know that.
Frank's asking him, what do you think I play, Zhao? What?
He's asking him, bro, what's your position? Where do you want to play? What's your position? Instead of coming to the end goal or the conclusion of, I see how you play. I can see your attributes. I reckon if I use you in a certain way, that's how I'm going to get the best out of you. That's what a manager does. He gets a player and goes, I know exactly what I want to do in order to get the best out of you. The attributes that you have, this is my plan on how I'm going to make the most out of you. Not, by the way, where do you want to play?
But I thought
That's
Lampard,
Sunday League.
I thought Lampard wanted to press from the front. So how did Aubameyang get back in there?
Oh, because he wanted a 9.
But he doesn't press.
Oh, he wanted a 9 though.
He don't know what he's saying now.
Because I can tell you something. Even if Pep came in right now, he would just never use Aubameyang because he's not gonna press from the front. Or if Klopp, if somebody said they want to press from the front, because that was his thing, right? He said he wants to be a high intensity team. I want to press from the front. So then how did he ever get a game? How did he get a game over Datro? If you're so clear and so clear on how you want to do things, and you're so fixated on the way that you want to play, then certain players just don't get a single opportunity because they just can't do what you need them to do. And you are so fixated on how that's how you're going to win football matches that nobody can distort your vision. And if you are going to be flexible and you are going to be a manager that kind of caters to the squad and can adapt, well then I better see you getting the best out of the players then. I better not see Kante at right wing. I better not see Cucurella in the box against Real Madrid. I better not see Gallagher as a second striker. I better see something serious.
Do you know what the problem with Frank is? He's treating his managerial career based on the players he played with. He's thinking,
exactly.
Well, Drogba was able to do that. Why aren't you able to do that? Well, Ramirez was able to do that. Why aren't you able to do that, Kante? Ramirez, he dinked it over the Barca keeper. Why aren't you able to do that? Like, he's literally looking at all of these players now thinking, those guys I played with, I didn't have to give them instructions. They just knew. Why am I having to give instructions now? What has changed? He's not in tune. He's just not in tune of the reality of the situation. And this is why Frank will struggle in management. And this is why I didn't want him. The one thing I do want to say is that, look, obviously we've bashed Frank, bash him every single match day after we get an L, and there's seriously no point. The one thing I do want to say is there better be a proper inquisition in this season's calamity, the nightmare that we've had. If we want to ensure that this type of season never, ever happens in our lifetime again, the owners will get someone from externally, get every stakeholder interviewed that has been involved this season, and that includes Thomas Tuchel as well, and ask them, what happened this season while you were there? The honest truth, the only truth from every single individual, and that dossier needs to be presented properly to the owners for them to learn. From them to learn. Because right now, I'm worried. Even if Poch comes in, I am worried.
But this is why the Poch thing is taking so long, isn't it? Everybody thinks Poch is a yes man. Poch is still apparently negotiating everything in that contract and everything that is going to happen.
Sorry, Matisse, to cut you off. Matisse, sorry to cut you off, but I have this huge problem with this yes man narrative going on. In any job, in any corporate, if you are to work efficiently, you have to have some sort of a relationship with your manager or your superior or your boss, whatever he or she may be. If that makes you a yes man, so be it. If I have to work efficiently, you have to be in sync with what they are trying to do, what they want to be, what they want you to do. So if Poch is trying to make his job easier by, adhering to some of the points that are being put forth by the ownership, and that makes his job easier, then what is wrong with that? From day one, we know that Poch is not going to be the man who replicates what Jose has done, or he is going to win many Champions League trophies with us. He is going to come here for some stability, and that is what we need. Right.
He's also saying that he doesn't want the owner in the dressing room, barking out instructions and whatnot.
Yeah, that's great. But even if he is agreeing to some of the points that are being put forward by ownership, then what is the harm in that? There has to be some kind of sync between the manager and the ownership. And if that makes him a yes man, then it's so fine.
Of course,
as long as the team is performing good.
Of course, there has to be a level of compromise. There's no doubt about that. When I've recently said the yes man theory, I didn't necessarily say Poch or anyone. I'm just saying the whole concept of yes man. People think yes man is all about transfers. No, it's about all the other stuff that happens within a football club, not just the transfer stuff. So obviously, our owners, they may have some things that they want. Poch will have some things like Arsene Wenger. I remember Younes shared this particular clip. Arsene Wenger had it in his clause. The owners cannot be in the dressing room. I didn't know you could have that kind of stuff in your clause. And maybe Poch, maybe Poch is now going through a list of things that he's noticed, that he's picked up from the outside, and it doesn't necessarily have to be about transfers. It may well be. I'm just saying there are other things that he might have picked up, and he might have put it in his clause that you can't do this, you can't do this, I should be allowed to do this, I should be allowed to do this. And maybe our owners and the board are going through that list of requirements and they're negotiating. Maybe the owners are saying, no, I want to be in the dressing room. I want to have a camera there. I want to do live streams from there. I want to broadcast. I want to get super chats.
Well, listen, if any manager was agreeing on their side, agreeing to come in here quickly, I would be worried, as Frank did, because blind love for the club. Although now you seem to be killing us, right? You maybe would do an Alan Shearer and actually get us relegated if you came in any earlier. But I would be really alarmed by Poch if he just signed really fast and just came in. The ownership are the ones that need to treat this as a blessing. You are being blessed right now, the fact that you have a situation where Poch can come in. I mean, I said it on Twitter. People talking about Chelsea fans need to give Poch a chance. Poch needs to give us a chance. We're 12th. Yeah, of course. We're the ones that have been shambolic. We're the ones that historically are probably the worst top club without a points deduction to perform in this manner. We're the ones that are chaotic. Now, yes, do I still think we have a bright future with the young players we brought in? Yes. But that future only arrives if we take care of the present. And the present is getting a proper manager, selling half of this, a good portion of this team, 10 to 15 players, and not double stacking with more young players on top of young players. If you've signed loads of good young players, the worst thing you can do is sign another big group of young players that play in the same position as those young players you just signed. That's the worst thing you can do. Because now you've given them no experience in leadership to learn off. You've also double stacked. So now they're fighting and competing for the same position for the next 10, 15 years. You haven't done anything. And you've given them no clear development plan or route to the team. So that can't run. That cannot run. I'm going to quickly blaze through these super chats. AK says, if Nzonzi is 100 mil, how much is Xhaka worth? Listen, I'm not happy with Enzo's performance in terms of him getting nutmegged. I don't like him playing as the deepest midfielder and Kante arriving in the penalty area. I have no question that Enzo's going to be a great player. I'm not going to lie. There are a few players that are performing in a manner where I'm like, wow, you guys are really selling us down the river. But Frank is choosing to start those players. And for most of them, I am convinced that under a proper manager, we won't be making these jokes. With a player like Enzo, under a proper manager, we won't be making these jokes. JC says, Matisse, Mattress, Steve Urkel, Arthur, I have one question and one question only. Are you still amortizing rival fans' tears? Relegation FC. It was never amortizing your tears. We were amortizing points, and now we're amortizing goals. 1 goal per month. We have our goal. We have it already.
So
we banked it early.
If you amortize that, that's 0.2 goals every game, roughly.
Yeah. It's mad that it's a shame that we've got it so early, and it's a shame. The last 2 goals we've scored, I've not celebrated because the first goal with Gallagher, the TV flipped to the Tottenham Bournemouth broadcast for some random reason when the goal went in, so I didn't get to see it properly. But then it took a deflection anyway, so it wasn't even a great goal. And the Madueke one was a consolation. If these goals were like, now we're not even getting great goals to celebrate. We only get 1 goal a month. Can there at least be goals that take the lead and they're good goals? Not deflected by 10 people and not consolations. If we're only going to get 1 goal a month, I want it to be the best goal ever. I want it to be a Pascal Gross volley. Give me something. These men are taking the piss. They're not even giving us great goals, bro.
Don't do that here.
Even the goal yesterday, it was a shit goal. Like
it was scuffed.
It was a great pass from Cover, but it was so scuffed at the end. But I was happy for Madueke anyway. But it was so scuffed. Do you know what I mean? We can't even get clear finishing. We can't even get crisp.
You want like the net to be rattled.
Yeah,
you want the net to be
riddled. Give me a free kick. Like
the ball's literally rolling into the net.
Bro, there's only 12 months in a year. 2 of those months, we don't even play competitive football. If we're going to give me 1 goal a month, give me a great goal a month. 12 goals a year, we're averaging.
That's actually, it's criminal, man.
We don't play in June. So it's 11 goals. Haaland going to score that in 3 games. We get that in 1 year. Oh, my God. It's mad. Midway says, I just woke up to one of those emergency tests that you had in the UK not long ago. We had it in Denmark. Yeah. I mean, that alarm should have been ringing for our match. I'm not going to lie. Instead of the Tottenham one. If you don't win the next 2 games, it's the worst losing streak in Chelsea's history, but it's Bournemouth and Forest. Surely you won't lose to both. Bournemouth have won 4 out of the last 5. They went to the Emirates and got a 3-2 an L. They lost in the last minute after scoring so early. They beat Liverpool at home. They beat Tottenham away. So let's not talk about Bournemouth, please. Let's not disrespect O'Neill. Let's talk about Nottingham Forest. Yeah. We're going to get something
Brighton.
there?
Nottingham Forest beat Brighton.
I beg my pardon. We're not getting anything there then. Did you see the games after those? We're finished after that.
We're done.
Yeah.
We're not winning those.
Do you know what? Yeah, Arsenal took the foot off the pedal, and everybody said it in their reviews. Everybody said it. We deserve to be battered. Why is nobody battering us? I want them.
No, City will.
City will.
City don't care about 3, 4. They will go 6, 7, 8, 9, and then they'll be like, "Oh, it's only half time."
They don't. You know what? Again. Sometimes City go 3-0 up and then they start passing it around, and that's even more embarrassing. So we might actually not hold a slapping all season, like a real one.
No, I think City will go hard just to cement the league title because it might still be close at that point, and I think it could, depending on what Arsenal do, it could be the game that City win the league. Could be.
Oh yeah, because there'll be 2 more games after that, so they could wrap it up.
It's possible. It's possible. Oh man, and you know what's crazy? The City at the Etihad. I've got bad memories there anyway. I was there when we lost 6-0.
Oh,
Oh wow.
the 1-0 when
Sorry,
we didn't
the
even
sorry
touch the
season.
ball.
And the 1-0 with Conte where we didn't
Conte.
touch the ball.
Oh my days.
This could be different level. That could make those games look all right.
So you're telling me you don't think Super Frank is going to be able to get us something out of the game?
Super Frank.
Sorry, say that again.
We've had the last 2 weekends off.
You're right, mate.
We've had the last 2 weeks off to revise for 2 exams against Brentford and Arsenal, 2 London derbies, and we failed with 0 marks in both exams. And then on top of that, we've been overtaken by another London club in the table when we didn't play. We are losing our own territory. It's West Ham next that could leapfrog us.
Oh,
They
look,
will.
you think they will?
They will. It's only 5 points, so
5
there's
points,
enough
yeah.
games for them to leapfrog.
Bro, we're not getting relegated because the teams below us have to play each other.
Or they have to play City. Or they have to play City.
And they got to play, they got City and Arsenal.
Do you know what I will say though? Because it's all now banter, right? I hope our owners at the end of this season write up a nice apology letter or an acknowledgement letter to Thomas Tuchel to say, thank you, Thomas, for the 10 points. Yeah, we sacked you, but without those 10 points, we would have been relegated. So we want to just thank you for that. Honestly, they should draft up the letter right now.
And here's a box of chocolates, just as a thing.
Yeah, just as a thank you. At least you can do that. At least you sacked him, no problems. At least say thank you for those 10 points. It's mad. A third of our points, third or quarter of the points have come from Thomas Tuchel.
It's insane. You know what's mad? Talking about these owners, right? These owners, I feel like have not got any understanding of English football and how it works. And I feel like they've made the assumption that their success in the United States, solely that, is going to get them across the line here, when it's a completely different ball game, apples and pears. These owners, if I'm honest now, having thought about it from yesterday and as the results that we've gone through, they urgently need to not just let the footballing people make the decisions at the club, but I honestly think now it's at a point, get a CEO or president or someone who's been in the game to control the club, and you're just the owner that runs it financially. Just back off.
Yeah.
Just back off. Let someone come in that can be employed to control the club, right? As a CEO or as a president, like other clubs have, and you just sit in the shadows, and when we need you, we'll call you. Because like right now, it's not even just a case now, I think, of just them backing off a little bit. I think they just need to back off altogether, because it just seems like they have not got an idea of what they're doing. And now if we don't get a Poch, for example, and there's no direction as to where this is going, or if they choose to not even back off with the decisions that are being made, man, it could get sticky. Really, really sticky.
This is like when your mum drops you to school and you're 14 years old and it's like, yo, please don't kiss me on the forehead in front of everybody. And it's like I'm in secondary school now. You've dropped me to school. Now I'm getting out of the car, and now you're getting out of the car. And I'm like, where are you going? And now you're coming and hugging and have a good day. Did you pack your lunch? Did you bring your PE kit? Mum, I'm 14. And it's like, I know you love me, but you're embarrassing me right now. That's what Todd's doing. You love us. With all this money spent, you're trying to do, you're trying to build the stadium, and you're trying to buy, 15-year-olds from Colombia. And it's all too much, mate. You love us, but mate, you're embarrassing us right now. Do you know what I mean? It's trying to do too much in one go. And this season's done, but you can never have another season like this. Some people are saying that they won't even forgive this because they're so embarrassed. They're so embarrassed by what's happened this season. They'll never forget it. I'll never forget this season. That's what really annoys me, is that I'll never forget this season. Like this season will stay with me until my last days. No matter what we go on to do, I can forgive and forget 100%. I'm not even that angry. I just want people to learn their lessons. But it's just, unless it's during the 90 minutes, then I'm extremely angry. But it's just so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing.
Do you know, I don't understand what the holdup is with Poch now. Like, I get it. There's, you know, just making sure, ticking off the boxes and all the clause. But why is it taking so, like, surely, how many times have they had an interview with Poch, and apparently there's going to be another one scheduled soon?
Because Poch is really, you know how the players that join, they don't read the terms and conditions. He's really reading the terms and conditions. He's reading the terms and conditions. He's like, for what I mean, if you were Poch and you saw Chelsea in 12th, you would be like, hold on a second. Let me just check a couple more things. I'll get back to you in a couple of days. Let me speak with my...
But Matisse, what does that say then? What does that say? Like even Poch, even though he may want this job, of course, even he has some doubts within that.
Of course.
Because think about it.
He should.
If it goes south for Poch, that could be very detrimental to his career as well.
Yeah.
He won't be able to land a big job. He'll have to start from the bottom down again. So it's in his interest as well to ensure he does extremely well with Chelsea Football Club to set himself up for a long managerial career. How old's Poch? 51, right? Managers these days go up to 65 plus in management. So
unless you're Roy Hodgson,
then you go to 90, 100. Do you know what I mean?
This Roy Hodgson turned up in some sunglasses and a suit and just started whooping teams.
Have you seen how Crystal Palace have been playing?
Yeah.
The match against West Ham.
They've scored more goals under him than we've probably scored all calendar year.
Crystal Palace with Eze and Olise. Oh, I don't want to play them.
Bro,
I don't want to play them.
They've reached a 40-point mark before us. I've been asking for 40 points since January, and Crystal Palace just say, don't go anywhere. Here you go. Football is a humbler.
Don't go anywhere.
How many teams are going to hit 40 points before us? I need these 40 points. It's a
Bournemouth
grind.
Bournemouth will this weekend. Bournemouth's about to hit 40 points.
Oh, God.
Oh.
And you know what's crazy? We're playing at Bournemouth. And then we play at Forest.
That's our bogey team when we're good.
It is, bro.
No. We're playing Bournemouth at Stamford Bridge.
No, we're away. No,
we're away.
No,
we're away.
Brother.
It's a L.
Brother.
It's a L.
Yeah, brother.
More than you can believe.
We play Forest at the Bridge. Yeah, we play Forest at the Bridge.
Not that it makes a difference. Let me just say
it does not matter.
It doesn't make any difference where we play. That doesn't matter.
We could play at a bar. It don't matter.
But you know what's crazy? This is what's mad with Chelsea right now, man. It's like every time you've hit rock bottom. Nah, there's another level below. Right?
Bro.
Look how bad we are at the moment, right? Say we don't get a result against Bournemouth. We're away from home, right? Okay.
Not just say.
And then
as Nike say, just do it.
and then okay. All right, we lose to Bournemouth away, yeah. And then we play Forest at home. If we lost that,
yes,
knowing we're losing to City and United and bro, it's
peak. It's peak.
I like how low we are now. Bro, I can't even begin to think what it would feel like if we did actually lose to Forest.
This season is a social experiment to test the boundaries of a football fan.
This is Black Mirror.
Why are we not getting all or nothing?
I failed to acknowledge this is a real footballing season. This is a social experiment, bro, to test how far a football fan's sanity can go and the extent of the patience and the emotional boundaries that we have, just to test them. Very well we can lose all the 5 remaining games.
We can.
But I'm disappointed we don't have an all or nothing documentary, because I want to see what's going on behind the scenes.
It would have been titled Nothing or Nothing.
Nothing or more nothing.
Nothing and nothing.
You know what I do get excited about after each L's though? It's the next 12-year-old that we're gonna buy. After every L, Fabrizio Romano gives me a here we go that we found another 11-year-old in the jungles of Bolivia.
Brother, we got banned for Gael
Prime
Kakuta.
Ronaldinho.
We got banned for Gael Kakuta. We getting away with this somehow. Must be more loopholes that we didn't know under Roman. Because as soon as we bought Gael Kakuta, we got a whole that ban. We held that ban swiftly. It was mad.
I think Bowley wanted an under 18s team. He just bumped onto a grown ass team. He probably just wanted to have all these kids and make them all superstars and make the millions out of them.
People are saying it's child trafficking in the comments.
Truly is.
Wouldn't be surprised. Wouldn't be surprised.
It truly is.
Chris
Who's
says,
Pedro Perez, bro? Perez or Perez?
It looks like another talented player that will probably get blocked off by another talented player that we sign next year. I mean, listen, he's
not next year.
He's still doing his GCSE maths, so I'm not even bothered about that one. I'll see him in 3 years. What league will be in, I don't know, but I'll see him in 3 years anyway. Them signings that are 15 and will not play for your club for 3 years because they don't have their driver's license and they don't have their qualifications in their school. I'm not interested in them signings. I can't lie. That's too far into the future for me to think
have
about.
an ID yet, bro. They don't have an ID.
Yeah. These men are still tapping their Oyster cards with child Oyster
16
cards.
plus.
Yeah. I'm not businessing with no 16 plus Oyster card signings. Yeah, them ones where you're not even paying for the full travel for TFL. I'm not interested in what you're on. I'm not gonna lie. You're too far into the future. This is not. Nah, I'm not doing that. I already predicted the result on Twitter. That was as far into the future as I'm going. I'm not going any further than that. I'm good. Bro. Let me go through these. Chris says, without TT at the start, we genuinely would have been relegated. Ain't no way we're this bad if we didn't sack him. Also, Sterling is crap, 300k. Laugh my ass off. I can't imagine what this show would be like if he was in the championship, New DM, striker and goalkeeper with Poch. Confident top 4 next season. I'm not going to lie, yeah. Yeah, the way that this season is going, I'm so scared of it rumbling on into next season. And I'm not talking about the first few games, which is what I expect anyway. I'm talking about just up until like Christmas. We're going to talk about preseason and next. Tope says a manager is important as a star player in your team. If you take out that star player out of the team, this team suffers. Top managers are top managers and they get the job done. Top managers are there for a reason. Bring in Rampman. Brother, I'm not gonna lie. I don't even think Rampman has the rants in him anymore, bro. I watched his review.
We don't have the energy, bro.
He looked exasperated, bro. For last time I saw him. Big up to all those that woke up at 3 a.m. to watch that crap games played by Chelsea and still call plastic fans because we don't live near. Big up, brother. Big up. James Bond settings versus Bournemouth. I already said it. And Younes, you can join me if you got a tuxedo. I'm going to Bond Street. I might get some fake guns. I don't even mind if I get arrested because it will be part of the vlog. If I go to jail, I can't watch Chelsea. I said it. If I go to jail, I can't watch Chelsea.
Are we going 2-piece or 3-piece?
I think bro. Me and you were discussing because I did that skit with Yannick, the football therapy, right? And we were discussing what is going to be our skit. I think this is our skit.
We've got an answer.
I think this is our skit. We go to Bond Street. We have our tuxedos on and fantastic B-roll for both of our channels, bro. More than you can believe.
I think that would be a fantastic skit, man. That would be a top skit.
I want to do the whole film. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. The arch villain can be Todd Bowley.
Oh God, I'm here for this. Lampard is confused version of Mourinho and Ancelotti minus Gus Hiddink.
No, let's not insult.
Let's not put those. Even Mourinho in his darkest days, when he was saying the players betrayed him, at least it was never. Even Mourinho, I'll just never disrespect those managers putting him in that sentence. I'm gonna ask about Lampard one more time before we go on to preseason because I know the preseason calendar's out. Chelsea starting 35, should play more FIFA 21 as therapy. Badiashile like a virgin unicorn waiting for Godot. What's that all about? Anybody know?
People are very creative. I don't know.
Sometimes
I don't understand some of the super chats, bro. I'll tell you
virgin unicorn, bro. What's going on?
Godot is a cross-platform, free and open source game engine. All right.
Oh, okay.
Make of that what you will.
There you are. Damn. The insults are getting mad creative, though. Bowie is just trolling Chelsea fans at this point. Todd and co might be.
I don't even understand that. What is that, bro?
Google.
Epstein Island list. What's that?
I'm done. I'm not reading that. I bet Younes wishes he didn't campaign against
I
the
might have to
Ricketts.
check that
No,
out.
I don't regret campaigning against the Ricketts. The Ricketts were so. It was
I don't even know anymore.
It was so bad that I will never regret campaigning against them. There's nothing this lot could do. There's nothing. If you're at a point where you think that they would be good for us, then you're lost. You need to go and see a psychiatrist because you're on another level you're on another level of madness. I remember when we were going with the Saudis on this channel, they probably would have just left everything to the club.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Look at Newcastle. That tells you what you need to know.
Yeah. Can I ask, and this is a serious question because a lot of people are saying it, so it has to be addressed. This is what we do on All You Can Eat Chelsea. We cover all of the topics. Is Lampard damaging his legacy with what he's doing for you? Honestly.
What legacy? About like player legacy or
managerial
legacy?
No, managerial legacy is finished.
There's no legacy.
There is no legacy.
No,
but
the banner play the Lampard. The
you can
player
separate.
is
You're
all-
still separating, yeah.
Yeah, I'm still separating.
Yeah, I'm still able to separate. I still remember that.
And that's why I feel very bad when I know people are right.
Can't separate.
When,
yeah.
When they are people are right when they are slandering him, but there's a part of me which cannot tolerate that because I have this love for what he's done for our club. So we all know he's not a capable manager, but come on, he's a legend. And for me, I can only say for myself, for me, his legacy as a player will be untouched. His intentions were not wrong. It's just that he did not have the ability to, get us out of this.
I agree. But one thing that I know is going to happen is if people answer this question in the wrong way, they're going to get called all sorts of names, fake fans, consumers, not proper Chelsea. And you can't have it both ways, right? I agree with Bubba. But if anybody disagreed and said that it did mess up his legacy a bit, listen, I would disagree because I can separate. But if you can't separate, I wouldn't blame you because certain people couldn't separate.
Yeah.
They couldn't separate when he was coming in. They said, this is the perfect guy to come in. I want Lampard to manage us. I didn't want him to be sacked the first time. I want him to be at our club forever and manage. And yes, you could not separate between player and manager. So if people cannot separate between player and manager now,
yeah, exactly.
They're just following your method of madness. And at the end of the day, I could understand if people were starting to dislike him because some of the comments that he's making after games, not taking any accountability, some of the pain he's putting people through with some of the lineups and the performances the team are churning out, I'm afraid that is going to carry weight and that is attached to your name. No one is ever going to forget this season. Everybody has contributed to this season. You are going down in history, whether your name's Lampard, whether your name's Graham Potter, whether your name's Todd Bowie, whether your name's Raheem Sterling, whether your name's Cover, whether your name's Kepa. It doesn't matter who you are. Your name on Wikipedia is going to be there forever. So you're going to have to hold that. Everyone's going to have to hold that, I'm afraid. Everybody.
This is the thing. I think with time, with a lot of time, people might choose to just try and forget what has happened this season, right? I'm talking in years to come. But you can't take away the fact, some people will be able to separate it. There's going to be some people that, and this is what I pointed out a couple of videos ago, is where some people are going to hear Frank Lampard, where maybe a few people will go, oh yeah, no, Lamps, yeah, no, that player. Guaranteed, there's going to be people that go, Frank Lampard, oh yeah, Frank.
But
Just
imagine the young
what's
fans
happened now.
that maybe didn't watch him as much.
There you
And their first experience, because
Exactly.
again, everybody's able to slander from their own perspective. Oh, how dare you say that about Frank?
It might be the same what happened with Ronald Koeman at Barcelona. The new age fans don't know what a legend he was.
Yeah.
for
Exactly.
Sure.
That's why we never wanted him in the first place.
Yep.
Because this is what happens. This is why I never
why was he brought in the first place?
But this is why I don't like legends managing my football club. The risk versus the reward, I get it. If they win a major trophy, it's one of the best. It's the highest of high honors. You can't get any better than winning a Champions League or Premier League with a legend of your club. That is just another stratosphere of achievement. But the fall off can be astronomical. And there's going to be young Chelsea fans growing up that maybe didn't watch him, so they didn't get that same emotional attachment. It doesn't matter. Let me say this. No matter how much you go into the past, if you did not live through it, you're not going to get the same emotional attachment as someone who did. You can go back and appreciate Dennis Wise like I can. You can go back and appreciate, Osgood. You can go back and appreciate these players. But if you didn't live through it, you're not going to get the same attachment and you're not going to be able to speak the same way on these players as the people that lived through it. So for the young Chelsea fans that are coming through that maybe only saw the tail end of Lampard's career, or they didn't get to see him, they're going to maybe remember this more. And I can't blame them because they didn't choose when they were born. But I feel sad for them because I can separate because I just remember the Reebok and the goal at the Reebok. And I remember the penalty against Liverpool and all of these brilliant moments. He's never going to, he would have to get us relegated. To be honest, he'd have to get us relegated for me to be like, oh yeah, I think Drogba's my new favorite player, Do you know what I mean? But, but for the new Edge fans, it's not easy. It's not easy for them.
Do you know what's mad?
I feel sorry for them.
Do you know who's a very, very smart guy? Now we look back, we're like, he knew. John Terry. He's a smart guy.
Bro, there's a reason why he didn't want to take this job.
Man went to Leicester instead.
Man went straight to Leicester. Dean Smith picked up the phone. Yeah, I'm gone.
Do you know what? When I saw that news of JT moving to Leicester, I actually said it on that day on my news video. This is clear as daylight. JT don't want nothing to do with Chelsea first team job.
Got a reason.
Because you had an opportunity to be part of this, managing staff to a certain degree. He went to Leicester, who were, they're proper in the relegation fight, and he went and chose that. It makes you think, JT, he knows, fully understand what's going on. It just makes me think, wow, Frank, I can't believe it. Like, there was in TalkSport, I was watching it this morning. I think it was Simon Jordan or was it someone else who was saying that Frank has actually hampered his managerial career
massively
by coming to Chelsea again. Had he not joined anyone and had he just left that Everton as it was, I think he still has an opportunity to find another job.
Yeah.
Now he's done ski. He's over. You are not becoming a manager. Maybe in the Kazakhstan league, maybe he can get a job there or something like to start things off again. But your best believe you're not even getting a championship team anymore. I guarantee you.
Yeah.
Let alone Premier League teams. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. He's massively messed up his managerial. I remember a quote coming out from him, and he wasn't sure. He'll have to see at the end of his Chelsea stint whether or not it's messed up his managerial. Of course it has. Of course it has. That's why these games aren't free hits. There's no such thing as a free hit. Every single game you play is an opportunity to implement, to learn, or to make change. Or to do something constructive, which we're not doing. We're wasting time. And your record is going on Wikipedia. This stint is factual. This stint will be there. So there's never any free hits. And people are feeling that now. Because if it was such a free hit, why is everybody pissed? If the season was so dead, why is everybody so angry? Why is everybody so angry? Season's dead. Season's done. So why am I still seeing people angry on Twitter? Why are people going to the bridge so angry? Season's done.
Why are people going to the bridge?
Good question.
Full stop.
Period.
Why are people still showing up, bro?
Yes.
And fair play,
Yes,
fair
to
play.
This question. Listen, he does care about the club, but he needs to care from a distance. Do what Ashley Cole does. Speak to them at halftime on the pitch and, be a coach. Max. But you're not a manager. I can't believe Nini is blaming TT for poor form, Pulisic and other wingers. We should be thanking TT for the 10 points. Listen, I've said it before. For everything Thomas Tuchel did for this football club, and I'm never going to change my mind on this, he needs way more appreciation than he gets. You can think that he was not good in the recruitment side of things. No shit, he's not a sporting director in the summer. That's why you need a recruitment team around a manager. No shit, you didn't like his decisions. I didn't like his decisions with Gallagher playing double pivot by allowing Levi Cole to leave and, by bringing in Aubameyang. I didn't like TT's decisions in the summer. I've said that many times. But that's why he's not a sporting director. That's why he's a manager. That's why he didn't want to do the job. People forget this context when they speak about Thomas Tuchel. He did not want to do what you asked him to do. So no shit, he got it wrong on a lot of the recruitment side because that's not his job. So I can't get angry at somebody who qualifies in a certain job criteria, does that job criteria really well, proves themselves at the elite level, leave them in their job. But we couldn't because of circumstance, because of predicament, because of sanctions, which he took us through and still got us top 4 in 2 cup finals, by the way, and lost on penalties. Could have actually completed the set of trophies outside of the Premier League inside 18 months. So when you speak on TT, people, just remember all of that. And that's the last bit of defending I'm going to do on Thomas Tuchel. But I don't like the way that people like to pick and choose the little bits and pieces they want to take out of Thomas Tuchel's time. Now we want to talk about pre-season. Last season was not good enough. Now we want to talk about fitness. But when we talk about the results against Leeds and Southampton, it doesn't matter about fitness. Funnily enough, the pre-season was closer to Thomas Tuchel's fixtures and results than it is now. You should have fitness by now. Pre-season in last summer should not be counting right now when we signed 9 players. All of the players that we signed in January, they had pre-seasons for other clubs. So why are we talking about pre-season now? Should be talking about pre-season in September when we accumulated our most points. So the logic is not logicking. And I don't want to get too angry, but I don't like the disrespect. I've always said it. I don't like the disrespect.
And the other point is, last season, the amount of adversities, obviously this season.
Can you imagine if Frank Lampard was going through these adversities?
He would be like, hey, don't blame me. It's all this, and this people. But going back to the point of Thomas Tuchel, the amount of adversities he had to face last season. And this is the difference between having an elite manager and a sort of mediocre manager. He still managed to keep the pedigree of Chelsea to a certain level of dignity. We still ended up coming 3rd. We were top 4 at a bare minimum. Even for that now. All of that crap last season, we did not finish like we're going to finish this season, 15, 16. Because Thomas Tuchel knew that there's a certain standard, man. No matter what, like the world could collapse. You don't come outside of top 4. It's simple as that, at a bare minimum. And he managed to take us to cup finals. And we won the Club World Cup and the Super Cup. That's an adversity. That's a season filled with adversity. That's what it looks like when it's really bad at Chelsea Football Club. This season, we've lost everything that we've done in the last 20 years. We've lost. We don't recognize anymore this Chelsea. We have to rebuild again with Poch. Poch will have to give us some sort of an identity again. It's gone. We don't have an ID. When they go to to a nightclub, show me ID. We don't have ID. I don't know who I am.
I've got no name.
I've got no name. I'm not sure. Will you let me in? I don't think so.
And this goes to show just the DNA of this club that's been defragmented bit by bit. Like, we don't even know who we are anymore. And it goes back to what Drogba said, isn't it? It's just doesn't recognize this club anymore. Yeah, what a mess.
I can see someone comments here saying, "Can we talk about players for once, Ma?" What do you want to talk about, Bart? Like, which player do you want to bash today? Do you tell me? Who do you want to bash? Let's bash together.
That sounds mad.
Of course. But do you know what I mean? Like, we're not here to like.
We've already spoken on players. Sterling was horrendous. Cover was poor apart from the assist, not tracking the runner. Enzo letting the ball go through his legs. Kepa, maybe some people are saying getting a hand to the goal. Azpilicueta, shambles. Absolute shambles. But
we can say about that on every single player. What's the point? This is what I mean. It's not about just the players, man. It's not about just the players. Deeper than that. I don't talk about players no more.
It goes back to that point that you made about Vidic earlier on and what he said. It's true. Like, players are not the ones that are going to come on the pitch having done complete homework of what to expect from the opposition. Like, they're going to listen to what instruction they get given on how to play against an opposition, but that comes from the manager. And if there's no system, you've got 11 headless chickens running out there trying to pass a ball about. That is it. No matter how good they are, you can't just rely on individual quality. And that's where we are, because week in, week out, game after game, as I've said, there's no system. If there's nothing to be able to execute in these players, then they're not going to do anything. Simple.
I think even Prime Hazard would die under these circumstances.
Yeah, all of them.
For sure.
Anyone
For
would.
sure.
Anyone
For
would.
sure.
Anyone
This
would.
is
People
why
keep forgetting there are Champions League winners in the squad still.
This is why I was saying a while back when Luis Enrique's name was getting floated around, everyone would be like, "Oh, anyone can manage that Barca team." No. But only a certain level of managers can manage high quality players or any level of players.
But this is why at the start I mentioned certain performances have really put me on another level. You know, Sterling not completing 5-yard passes.
Yeah.
Counter-attacks 4v2 breaking down. That type, Azpilicueta basically putting Kepa in jeopardy inside 1 minute with that. Like, that is why I'm saying certain players are starting to take the piss a little bit, in my opinion, as well. Like, they're not even doing the basics. But like I said, unless you are at a point where you want to sell that player, and I'm good to reel off about 10, 15 players I'd sell. But the players that I wouldn't sell, they're also dropping poor performances. Reece James, before he was ruled out for the rest of the season, was poor. You know? So when players like that are playing poorly as well, we're in a serious mess. Who is playing well, you know? Because like you said earlier, our standards are dropping. Madueke's done a few nice things. I'm seeing people are making comps. I'm seeing people are making comps on Mudryk. Listen, Mudryk was a good cameo. But he had the laser in his eye. That was part of the comp. You know?
That was part of the comp. Like, we now have
no other footage to use. It's just,
you know, we're really clutching at straws here. We're clutching at straws, man. I don't know how these comp makers are still doing it. They're really going through the trenches to find these highlights. Fair enough. This mess isn't Frank's fault. He loves the club, but he's a clueless manager. No, it's not his. He doesn't take sole responsibility. We were poor before he came in, but he is only compounding the misery. He's only making it worse. That is the point. You know, he's only making it worse. He's not stabilizing. He's not trying to. He's not really improving. He's not even. He's just wasting time. He's just wasting time. That's what my biggest problem is that this could have been an extended preseason. He's purely just wasting time right now. Him being here is a waste of our time. It's a waste of his time. It's a waste of our time. It's a waste of the players' time. It's a waste of everybody's time. We're not learning anything. We're not making any progress. We're just wasting time. That's my problem.
We knew what we were getting as well when he came in. This is it. We knew. Let's not be stupid now. Like, we knew. But there were the people that wanted him on board were happily just going on the vibe of, it's Lamps, club legend. They'll lift the mood a little bit. That's it. But now it's been made clear.
None of us were excited for him.
No.
But we thought we were going to get vibes.
Yeah.
That's what we were told. None of us here were excited. We were like, oh, Lord Jesus. But vibes, right? Well, let's get some vibes. The vibes were meant to be, you're going to play young players. You're going to play players that have been starved of minutes. Maybe Carnies, you know, players like that. You're going to play young players that are here for the future, for Poch. And you're going to try and play attacking football. And we might score some goals and we might concede some goals. And we're going to have some 4-3 defeats like Tottenham at Anfield and some 2-2 draws. And we're going to have some fun. That's what I signed up for. I didn't even sign. I'm not going to lie. I didn't even sign anything. But that's what I was told. That's what I was told to expect. We're not even getting that. They've been criminal setups, criminal performances, boring as hell. It's been awful. But let's move on to the last part of this, which is pre-season. Pre-season came out. Younes is so stressed. He's out here tracking the travel times.
That was good, actually. I used that in my video.
It was good. Thank you. But it told me how stressed Younes actually is.
Yeah.
It told me how stressed he actually is because I've never seen him do that before.
No, it was by chance because we got the notification from the Fifth Stand app that another friendly's been announced. And I was like, oh, okay. So how many games are we playing? So then I checked and I saw 5, and I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, okay, no, we got to make sure that it's all in the same place because if it's not in the same place,
That's what I'm talking about.
I was there for that.
That's what I'm talking about. I was there in person. What a game.
We were in it.
What a game.
Yeah. That was unbelievable.
We should win, But what a game. That's my point. At least we got what a game.
What a
great
comeback,
game.
bro.
Yeah.
What a comeback.
At least we got basically what Ryan Mason is doing at Tottenham. That's what I expected from Lampard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, go on.
But yeah, I was under the impression that oh, by the way, we've just signed another 10-year-old.
Are you taking the piss?
The ages are keep going lower and lower.
Matos.
Who
Alex
tweeted
Matos.
this? Is this Fabrizio?
Are you kidding me? Are you actually for real?
Oh my god!
I thought you were taking
when is it going to end, Robbie?
Oh my god! After every L, undoubtedly there is a young boy that is getting signed up for 29 years at Chelsea Football Club.
He's born in 2004, so yeah, he's 19, around there, jumping into the under-21 squad. Welcome to hell, Alex Matos. Welcome to hell.
And people want us to cover this.
What a joke.
I get DMs.
It's a free transfer from Norwich.
People are telling me, yo, did you see that we just signed Fabio Silva from Ecuador, 16 years old? Are you going to make a video on it? You think I'm sad? You think I'm sad?
You know, couple of days ago,
you don't respect me. You don't respect me. You think I have nothing else to do?
Just before our last L, there was another brother from Benfica, a young 18-year-old, Alex Marino or whatever. I don't know. Oh, is it this one?
No. Alex Mato came from Norwich.
You know which one I'm talking about, Younes, right? The Benfica youngster.
About. Yeah.
We signed that. Yeah, Diego. Yeah. I spoke to him. I spoke
Diego Miniero or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, people were telling me in the live chat, Miz, talk about the new guy. Tell us more about the new guy. And I'm like, dude, I don't know who this player is. The fact that you're even asking me that's strange.
The fact that we're going through this and there's somebody out here doing these contracts and signing these contracts is crazy to me. Like their primary focus is this. This is clearly somebody's job to do this and this only because they're doing their job. Whoever's doing this, they are getting shit done. I don't know who's in charge of signing under 21 talents right now at Chelsea. Whatever director that is, you are on point right now because you're smashing it. I'm getting a new signing every week from this person. This person's on point. If only the rest of the club were moving in this type of manner. This person is on it like a car bonnet.
Oh, it's incredible.
Right, before we make another signing,
get after Bournemouth Hill.
Yeah, before we make another signing, do we want to talk about preseason as well? Just how we feel.
Oh yeah. So yeah, when I was looking, I was like, yo, no, I hope it's all in the same place because we want to avoid what we done last year, right? And start traveling across the flipping world, right? And going through all those air miles. And then, as much as people, I think, are under the false impression here, people are like, oh no, we're only on the East Coast. I don't think people understand how big the East Coast is. And how big the United States of a country actually is. Considering last season, we went from Nevada and we did cross across the United States once, and that was bad enough, to Charlotte, and then Charlotte down to Orlando. And that was our US tour done. Now we've gone Chapel Hill, East Coast, comes down, if I'm not mistaken, to go back up again, to go back down again, to go back up again, to go to Chicago. Like, if you look at the miles, I think it's like 2,900 or something, or 2,500 miles or something like that we got to travel in the space of that many days. A game every single 3 or 4 days is too much. It's too much. As far as I'm concerned, it's too much. It would be nice to be able to have less games than that or less miles than that. Because we have to train. I don't think if we're talking about all these problems,
because we're starting from scratch, basically.
This is the thing. People are going to say, "Oh no, but other clubs are doing it." Yeah, other clubs are doing it because other clubs are operating normally.
Other clubs have systems.
Other clubs have systems. Other clubs have things
for the season.
That they exactly. They're just building on fitness. That's it. But we need to incorporate a new manager, a new system. We need chemistry built up. We need to know who we're getting rid of, who's coming in. That we got to build all of that, and then we've got to travel. Out of all of those days, we've got to travel 5 times, and then come back home.
Because we're playing in this Premier League Cup. You know what? You know what we should be doing? We should be going to Russia.
Facts.
We should be going to Russia, or we should be going to Sweden or Norway. Boot camp. And I'm being so serious. I'm not joking. When you have historically the worst season we've seen in the modern era, that should be followed by a boot camp type like mentality. I'm talking no phones, no phones, no nothing. Like
some Rocky.
And if you and let me tell you something, right? Because this is a soft generation. If you don't like that, then you clearly from what you've just witnessed last season, you're not ready to rectify it. You should be willing to go to the trenches in preseason right now. This preseason should be a boot camp. Not we're going to Florida, Miami, we're going to Disneyland, Paris. No. You should be going to boot camp. It's training, and that's it. We're not doing any traveling. I just want these lot in one location working, training, fitness, tactics. That's it. Yeah. I know it's a bit old school, but I don't care.
It's what we need.
It's what they deserve. It's what we need. It's what we deserve. You cannot finish most likely in 15th and come with anything other than the most serious preseason of your life. You should be training like as if you've got a boxing match for Misfits next. Astrid Wet trains harder than this lot. Yeah. These lot need a proper boot camp. Man. That's how they should have it. She does. And she's still putting out content at the same time. These lot can't even multitask. It's ridiculous.
No, it's true. And this is what it comes down to, because people are going to say, yeah, no, each way is only a 2-hour flight, for example. You're doing that 5 times. You're doing that with a game every 3 days. You're not spending time on the training pitch getting the work done that needs to be done. You're just playing a match, getting ready, maybe one or 2 sessions. All right, travel, play a match, again, travel, again. And it's just, instead of utilizing that time to actually just, so the players are going to go on holiday and they're going to come back from holiday because they need a holiday. Everyone needs a flipping holiday. They're going to go on holiday. They're going to come back, and then we're going to have how long with the actual manager at one place working on what we need to work on, nothing else. We're not going to have enough time. That's what worries me now, because we need to incorporate everything under a new manager and get these players to understand even before you even start playing all these preseason matches, because you have to rock up to those preseason matches and start experimenting, having already got these players to understand what you're trying to do, and then start rectifying the mistakes that you see in those preseason matches. It shouldn't be a case of trying the system out, in a preseason match and just hoping for the best, as well as that fitness building up. This is what concerns me now, because it's clear, and we go back to this point, we're prioritizing commercial activity ahead of what this team actually needs. We're not where other clubs are. Other clubs can afford to have the schedule that we have. Not a problem, because all they need to do is fitness. Fitness is fitness, not a problem. Run for 120 minutes, and it'll be okay. But with us, we have to start from scratch, and this schedule worries me.
I already knew preseason was going to be a mess. I think everybody does. Everybody knew it was going to be a mess. We have loads of players coming back. We've now got, the traveling is not as bad as last year. I don't think it can get any worse, but it's not as bad as last year. People are saying that we need to go to Peckham.
Facts.
Preseason in Brixton.
I'll run it.
But this preseason for me it's not as bad as last year, but it's not good enough. It's not good enough. I think for once we should have completely sacrificed marketing, because the best way to market your club? Performance. You don't play like shit, and I promise you, people will follow you on Twitter. People will follow you on Instagram. People will want to advertise. If you're in more competitions, you'll get more money, TV money, more prize money if you win competitions. If we're not live, we're not being broadcasted at 2:00 because instead Fulham and Brentford are playing and they're chasing European football, and we're having a mid-table scrap with Crystal Palace and they're being broadcasted and we're not. then that's less money.
You think Brighton haven't picked up new fans this season?
I'm a fan.
Me too. I watch Brighton games.
I love Brighton.
Brighton are picking up new fans because of the way they play, because of the results they're bringing in. And you best believe if they make it into some sort of European position, whether it's Europa League or Conference League, Brighton's name will then go into the other parts of Europe as well, where people will appreciate how they play. So as Matisse said, the best way to market your team, win. It don't matter how many, rodeo shows you take your team to, but if your team is picking up L's after L's after L's, I'm telling you, that's not a good marketing policy. Showcasing L's.
People are asking Astrid up top who says no.
Astrid up top.
I did do that on purpose, yes. Guys, I don't know what to say anymore.
I can't get that image out of my head now. Oh, man, that's bad, man. That's bad. Why'd you have to do that, Matisse, bro? What the hell? Now we've got to talk another half an hour to get rid of this shit.
No, I'm going to leave that with you. I'm going to leave that with everybody. That's the last.
Another L. Another L.
You must suffer. You must
You must suffer.
You must suffer. I don't know what to say. I mean, we all know that Bournemouth, what is coming is wild. We all know what's coming.
Do we actually think we're losing on Saturday, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I've actually been watching Bournemouth. They play really well.
Me too.
They play
Younes,
really well.
Have you not watched Bournemouth lately? Like proper match.
They're really good.
Bro, they're beating us.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's not. I said this yesterday. It's torture now. Like it's not even a case of we're watching the game. When like a few games ago we'd watch and we get angry. You just get angry. You just go vexed. Oh, what is this? You flipping? You just flip. Yeah. Now it just hurts. It's actually just torture, bruv. I see us concede. Yesterday I saw us concede the third goal, and I'm just like, I'm in pain. Like I might call an ambulance because I'm in pain. I might need to go to A&E and see how to get rid of this pain. That's what it's come down to now. It's what it's come down to. And if we lose to Bournemouth, it's going to be even more. It's just, how much can we actually bear before we actually go, I'm not watching?
I had a lot of people that just said after the third goal, they're like, sorry, man, like I can't stick around. I'll catch you tomorrow.
Man said sorry, bro.
And I said, look, I don't even have to apologize. I understand, like, even I want to go along. Do you know what I mean? Leave. But I'll stay. I'll play this out.
All I can say is we need to learn lessons from this season in terms of our performance, and we need to learn lessons from this season about other teams' performance. Because if you think Aston Villa are just going to just disappear, Brighton disappear, these teams will have European football and it will be more difficult for them. But the quality of manager they have and the recruitment that they've done, and sometimes both, that's not going to end. The Premier League is getting more competitive. It's getting more difficult. And unless you raise your game higher than even former standards under Roman, in the back end of Roman era, in the last 3-4 years of Roman's time, you need to go higher than that in terms of infrastructure, in terms of planning, in terms of recruitment. Don't think that time was perfect. Don't think that time would not have us at least jousting with these Aston Villas and Brightons for European places. You need to put yourself on another pedestal. Otherwise, you're not going anywhere. When we were competing before and winning things, there was only 4-5 teams. Now there's 6, 7, 8. And Newcastle, these teams are not going anywhere. They don't go anywhere, guys. Please.
You need to be so savvy now, man. It's not just about the money. The money is great, obviously, to have extreme levels of investments around the corner for you. That's fantastic. But look at Aston Villa. You know what I mean? They've just got the Barcelona DOF now. Do you think Aston Villa are going to be, stopping anytime soon?
Are they Man City? They got the Barcelona DOF. Who are they trying to be? Man City? Oh my goodness.
Like Aston Villa, Brighton. Do you think Brighton, they've not planned ahead as to what they want to do once McAllister leaves, once Watch out for Enciso. Watch out how he becomes the next 80 million pound player for them.
Bro, if I'm telling you, I don't ownership. If more rich owners, the Premier League's already rich. These guys are all rich, but I'm talking about the rich. More Saudi investment, more Qatari. What's to stop more Ryan Reynolds from Deadpool's picking up fucking Brightons? What's to stop them?
Nothing,
I'm telling you, this whole situation in the league is gonna be mad. We need to have money and sense. We used to have, some money. We had to have lots of money and sometimes some sense and sometimes just recklessness. Sacking Ancelotti when we finished second. I'm sorry, that's just reckless. That's just wild.
Yeah.
You can't get away with that in the modern era.
Do you know what, Matisse? I reckon these days you need to have more sense than more money.
Yeah.
Like, money is great, but you need to have more sense.
Everyone has money these days. Everyone is spending.
Exactly. As Mark Goldbridge said in his review for the Chelsea game, he said, I could be the richest guy in the world, but I'm not an astronaut. I'm telling you, I'm not flying that rocket to the moon. That's for sure. Because I don't have any idea about the industry. Do you know what I mean? So it's simple as that.
The sad part is what we were supposed to be, City has become. What City has become, we were supposed to be that institution, that team that which has a system that dominates, the team which has money and which has got that recent influx of cash and has built an institution. If you talk about City, people always talk about the players that they sign. The academy, okay, let's talk about the academy. City have a better academy than us at this moment. They have loaned out 7 or 8 players who are playing in Championship right now. Two or three of them are playing in Sheffield. Some of their players are playing in Sunderland. Burnley as well. And even if they were to move on from some of their players, they will have developed finished products at their disposal when they are 22, 23 years old. And that is how a top club works, who has influx of cash, who knows what they are doing, who knows how to set up academy, how to run it. All we did with our academy was to be in positive net spend, to be out of FFP's range, and that's it. We never really saw of our academy as genuine superstar creating machine. Because if it hadn't been for the transfer ban, we wouldn't have got Mount, we wouldn't have got Reece James, Tammy, Tomori, all those players we wouldn't have got. Reece James might have been playing right back for Crystal Palace right now on loan. I'm pretty sure of it.
We were going to sell him. Marino was going to sell him.
Yeah. So the previous regime is also culpable for some of the shortcomings that we have as a football club right now. And Manchester City, as much as you want to troll them, they are constantly in the semi-finals of the Champions League, the way we used to be under Jose Mourinho's first spell. We used to reach semi-final of Champions League for fun. They have made Premier League a farmers' league.
They've caught us on Premier Leagues, and if we're not careful, they'll catch us on Champions League.
They have won more Premier League than us. Yeah, they've caught up with us and they've gone ahead. And we have regressed. They have progressed. And why? Because they had a vision with Pep Guardiola and all those cheeky Begiristain and their technical directors that they have. And they knew what they were doing. It's not like Newcastle, for example. The players that they've got, Botman, Bruno Guimaraes, and one or two. These are not mindless. These are not like us. They have not gone on a spending spree. Or this is still the team that was assembled by Dan Ashworth. This is still the team that Eddie Howe took over with some additions, and they will do their signings very immaculately, and that is how they will replace us in the top 6 if we are not learning from our mistakes from this season. And Aston Villa, another example. Brighton
are.
It's going to be a top 10. It's going to be a Big 10.
Don't disregard Brentford with Thomas Frank.
That 5th place in the Champions League is so needed. It's crazy.
I don't know how easy it's going to be for us to come 5th.
Thankfully, Tottenham exist, and they look to be just as much, if not more. They look more screwed than us. Thankfully, Tottenham, because
they look like they're going to get out of that whole top 6. The bigger question is, Matisse, Big Six. I
gonna
might
say,
have to
man.
change some dimensions, bro.
I'm gonna stay there on
Changing.
I'm gonna fight for my place based on nostalgia and based on European success.
Coefficient
Points. I think if we're talking about moving people on Big Six, I am there for coefficient points. We've picked up enough European silverware for me to maintain my place for at least a little bit longer. Thabz, we're in negotiations currently, I must say. We're in negotiations.
I think that there might be but Thabz is you Thabz, Saeed, you guys are proper entertainers, so it'd be strange without you guys. But in regards to the Big Six,
it doesn't exist.
Newcastle needs to be in there very, very soon, man. In that show. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's mad. Well, we've all established that we're not getting anything out of Bournemouth, so that's good. At least we all know where we're going with that. Younes, I'll see you at Bond Street Station with the tuxedos.
That's gonna be mad.
We know 007's coming. Miz, I'll see you in Australia this summer when I need therapy and I need to get out of the country.
Bro, come out, bro. Seriously, I'm being honest, bro. I got 3-bedroom apartment, beautiful. One of the rooms gonna be yours, bro. Don't worry.
And Baba, I'm gonna get a contract for you in the dugout again. I want you back for the next game because your performance against Liverpool, I must say, bro. I was not familiar with your game. I was not familiar. We didn't appreciate you when we had you, bro. We didn't.
But I don't want to be a part of this mess.
No, bro. Please, we'll make you
what
very
I was getting myself into. Hence the time to jump ship.
Bro, we'll make you very rich, bro. Please come back, man. We need you. Just stable the ship for a bit longer. Let me quickly finish off these super chats before we wrap up. Chris says, "Oh, I agree. He's not doing what he should be doing in regards to Lampard." Astrid Wet as a striker who says, "No, we got through that one as well." 10th of June, Champions League final, international games till late June. Players on holiday. Squad won't be back together till mid-July, pre-season, and August the 12th start. I didn't even know there was international games. Why is there international games? For what?
Why is the UCL final so late?
It's so late, bro. I booked a trip to Amsterdam.
Because of the World Cup miss. Because of we had World Cup.
I was going to go to Amsterdam that weekend, and I seen the Champions League final. I had to move it because I was like, I can't miss the Champions League final. Done all the Champions League watch-alongs, and I just don't do the final. It'd be kind of weird.
So we come back from holiday. We go straight on this. We have maybe like a week, and then we have this 5-match tour in the US, and then we come back and start the season.
Yep.
It's gonna be a long season, man.
I got a very funny comment yesterday on my watch along. One of the guys had given a super chat, and he commented like, "What makes you so confident that you won't get relegated next season?"
Hey, there are some
pundits and I had no answer, to be honest. And I had no answer.
Bro, there are actually legit some pundits out there who are saying Chelsea think they're going to be vying for top 4 next season. Watch out for the relegation fight.
It's mad.
Nah, man, nah.
Anyway, so yeah, it's a late one. At least Astrid can finish, says Chris. I knew he was going to get that joke. I'm scared Poch might run for the hills. He probably should. Watch out for Villa, because this is a great DOF. Yeah, I mean, I don't know too much about him. I haven't done any research. I saw Barcelona and I saw Aston Villa in the same sentence, and I shit myself. I'm not gonna lie. That's that's the level I'm operating at right now because I'm still not over what happened yesterday. But we're gonna wrap up. Younes, let the people know where to find you, bro. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, bro. It's been a good one. I mean, well, good one considering circumstances. Yeah, we'll gear up to what happens against Bournemouth. In the meantime, we're on Poch watch. We're on all sorts of watch to see what happens, and yeah, we'll soak up all of this madness and see what happens. I'll give my thoughts on Younes Talks Football.
There you are, Miz. Let the people know where to find you, bro. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, man. No, thank you once again. The other side of the coin, I might do a live probably in the next half an hour. So do pop down. I want to just embark upon some of the comments that Kai Havertz made yesterday before the game, and Cesc Fabregas saying, no tactics, and sending 11 olives out there.
Yeah, what a comment.
And I also want to talk about the Joe Felix comments from Frank. So if you're keen, in the next half an hour, might do a live. Yeah.
Baba, what about you, bro? Let them know where to find you. It's been a big pleasure, bro. Again.
Thank you so much, bro. And yeah, a good therapy session. Nice to let off some steam. And yeah, I mean, you know where to find me, Drogbaba. You can, join me for the weekly Chelsea, what do I say, that tribute kind of a thing, the tribute that we pay to Chelsea, the old Chelsea every week that we do. So yeah, that is what's going down. Follow me on Twitter. That is where the fun is.
Before Elon fucks up the platform.
yeah, and I just hope that by the end of the next season, we are in at least it does not matter what position we are on the table, but we are in a position to at least identify that, okay, if we were to do these things, we'll be back in the top 4 scrap. That is what I want Chelsea to be, because that is the realistic expectation that we can have right now. Does not matter if you end up 4th, 5th, 6th on the table. In the process of that, very good, very well. But even if you finish 10th next season, just be in a position to communicate this to the owners, to fans, that okay, we need a striker, we need a DM, and we will be on our road. Yeah, that's that bad. It's that bad, Matisse. It's that bad.
As manager of Chelsea Football Club, I've called this press conference to announce that we want you, the fans at home and abroad, to support someone else.
Baba, that's for you. Don't you say that again. We are Chelsea. 10th. Are you crazy?
We were Chelsea, bro. We are now.
We were Chelsea.
Man said 10th. I'm not dealing with that shit again.
We were once upon a time.
We were once upon a time. Now we are in the shit.
And you know how bad it is? Even the Chelsea YouTube channel are sticking out, old school games like the 6-0 against
stuff.
Arsenal.
Yeah, because we're reminiscing FC now.
New behind the scenes of like interviews from back then. I'm just
That's mad.
yeah, just kill us even further.
Reminiscing FC, historic FC.
That's it. We've turned into Arsenal.
Yeah.
Crazy. That 10th hurt me, Baba. I can't go through this again, my brother. Anyway, guys, make sure you subscribe to everybody's channels, smash up the likes, and this time I will be ending the stream, but we will see you later on. Obviously, I'm going to do the watch along for the 2 Premier League matches there, Man City and Liverpool playing other teams, and I want to watch good football after the suffering of yesterday. So this is my therapy continues. So until then, big up your damn selves. In a bit, people. Peace.
As manager of Chelsea Football Club, I've called this press conference to announce that we want you, the fans at home and abroad, to support someone else.